Hello aspirants, welcome back to India for IAS. This is Manjunath Mudol. In this video, we are going to study about Ennore oil spill. As oil spill is an environmental hazard, so we can study this topic under GS3 environmental topic. GS3 environmental topic. Recently, in the month of December, Chennai witnessed an oil spill from CPCL Petroleum Refinery. CPCL means Chennai Petrochemical Limited. Now we will discuss what is oil spill, what are the causes for oil spill, so what are its environmental hazards. Oil spill is the release of liquid petroleum hydrocarbon into the environment, especially marine ecosystem, due to human activity, and it is a form of pollution. So this is the definition of oil spill. Moving on to the causes of oil spill. So oil spills can happen because of many factors. So the first one is accidents. Damage to the ships which are on the ocean and seas can cause oil spill. Ships are usually run by petroleum products and they are also carrying crude oil. They are also carrying crude oil. If any damage happens to the ships, so they can cause oil spill. So then pipeline ruptures. Pipeline ruptures means the pipelines which are carrying petroleum products from one region to another region via ocean or sea. If any damage happens to the pipelines, this also causes oil spill. Then drilling rig malfunctions. The offshore oil field which are located in seas and oceans, if any damage happens to the drilling rig, this also causes oil spill. Then operational discharges. Operational discharges are mainly from ships. It may be illegal dumping or intentional release of oils during the emergencies. Then the third one is natural causes. It might happen because of seabed leaks or underwater oil seeps which occur naturally. So these are the causes for oil spills. Before we discuss the long-term and short-term effects of oil spill, first let us discuss a small topic, that is threat of oil spill to the birds. So the oil spill can have both short-term and long-term effects on the birds, including damage to the plumage, poor health to the birds, delayed migration, and death. So these are the few effects of oil spill on the birds. So, in order to protect the birds from the oil spill that happened in Ennore, the Wildlife Trust of India and Besant Memorial Animal Dispensary planned setting up of feeding stations, also called as cafeteria, for the affected birds. These cafeteria are feeding stations with nets to capture the sick birds, and these sick birds are treated for the oil spill damages. Now let us discuss the immediate effects of oil spill that happened in Ennore Creek. It polluted the Cosa River, Ennore Creek, and eventually the Bay of Bengal coast. So it affected the aquatic life, impacting their respiration, feeding, and breeding habits. The spilled oil coats the birds and mammals, disrupting their thermoregulation. This causes the hypothermia in the birds and mammals. So additionally, the ingested oil can poison the organisms, affecting their internal organs and reproduction. Mangroves are particularly vulnerable to the oil spills. Mangroves are crucial for coastal protection and these provide necessary grounds for the fish. So if any threat to the mangroves, it affects the biodiversity of the coastal system. Because of this Ennore oil spill, the Cosa River is in news. So before moving into the next topic, so let us know a little bit about Cosa River. The river originates near Kaveri Pakkam in Vellore district and it drains into the Bay of Bengal at Ennore Creek. Before we study the long-term effects of oil spill. Let us study the difference between creek and river. So far we have discussed the Ennore Creek and Cosa River. So then what is the difference between creek and river? So this is very important from prelims point of view. So UPSC every year asks questions based on geographic landforms. So moving on to the difference between creek versus river. So in terms of size, creek is a smaller, narrower and shallower than rivers, whereas river is a large, wider and deeper than the creeks. In terms of flow, creek is a slow moving water, whereas river is a slow moving to fast moving depending upon factors like gradient and volume. The third main difference is source. The creeks are fed by springs or groundwater seepage or by smaller streams, whereas the rivers are fed by creeks, springs, glaciers, snowmelt. Then coming to the mouth of the creek and river, creek may empty into larger river, lake or ocean, whereas river it may empty into an ocean or larger body of water or another river. The long-term effects of oil spill are as follows. The oil components like polyaromatic hydrocarbons, they are highly persistent and they can remain in environment for many years. These polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons can bioaccumulate in fish and shellfish. When these fish and shellfish are eaten by humans, they pose threat to the human via seafood consumption. Then this contamination of fish and shellfish disrupt the food chains in the marine environment. In addition to this, this also disrupts the livelihood of fishing communities who are dependent on the marine fish resources. The oil spill also causes destruction to the marine habitats like coral reefs and seagrass meadows. And these habitats even take decades to recover from the destruction. This in turn impacts the biodiversity and ecological balance of the marine ecosystems. In addition to this, the oil spill can also cause public health risks via exposure to contaminated water and inhalation of oil fumes. In terms of economic impact, the oil spill can lead to the closure of beaches and fishing grounds. So this impacts the tourism and livelihood of the local communities. Now let us discuss the methods to clean this oil spill. So the first one is containment. Containment means confining and removing the oil from the water surface using booms and skimmers. The second one is use of dispersants. So dispersants are the chemicals that break down the oil into smaller particles. So dispersants are chemicals that break down the oil into smaller droplets. So this helps in natural degradation of the oil spill. In the process, these dispersants potentially harm the marine life. The next step is bioremediation. So bioremediation means using bacteria and other microorganisms to naturally degrade the oil. It is a slow process, but it is an effective one. Then lastly, shoreline cleanup. So it is a manual removal of and decontamination of the oil from the beaches and shorelines. So these are the few methods of oil spill cleanup. The following picture shows the use of containment booms to restrict the spread of oil. So this is the containment boom. So it is used to restrict the spread of the oil. This figure shows the use of skimmers. Skimmers are used to remove the oil from the surface, water surface. So here the containment booms are deployed. So this is the skimmer. This collects the oil from the surface of the water. In this picture we can see the mechanism of biodegradation of the oil. Here the hydrocarbons are being degraded by bacteria to produce H2O and CO2. So this CO2 is liberated to the atmosphere as a greenhouse gas. Now let us discuss few international initiatives which are aimed at protecting the marine water from pollution. The first one is International Maritime Organization. It is a specialized agency of UN. So it is responsible for developing and implementing the international regulations for maritime safety and pollution prevention. So it is responsible for developing and implementing the international regulations for maritime safety and pollution prevention. The second one is International Tanker Owners Pollution Federation. So it is a non-profit organization. So it is not a treaty-based organization. It is a NGO or non-profit organization. It is funded by oil industry that provides expert advice and assistance to the governments and industry in response to oil spill. So it provides expert advice and assistance to the government and industry in response to oil spills, and it is a non-profit organization. Then the third one is International Oil Pollution Compensation Funds. So it is a intergovernmental organization. So it provides compensation to the victims of oil pollution damage. So it is an intergovernmental organization. It provides compensation to the victims of oil pollution damage. Then the last one is International Petroleum Industry Environmental Conservation Association. It is a global association of oil and gas producing companies that works to improve the industry's environmental performance. So oil and gas industry's environmental performance. So this is all about oil spill, its causes, damages and mitigating efforts and a few international initiatives. Here we have provided one mains pattern practice question for 15 marks and 250 words. So practice the answer for this question. Thank you all for joining this session. See you in the next video. Bye.